Hi, and welcome to your 10-minute gentle class. And today we will be doing a really simple, beautiful little class that is all done on your back for your hips and your hip flexors, and it's going to feel so good. So I invite you to start by bringing your hands to your heart and close your eyes. And as you sit here, I invite you to take a few moments to connect to your breath. While you feel the breath, also feel your connection to the earth beneath you, sensing the steadiness here and the support. And as you bring your attention back to the breath, also sensing the flow of life that moves through you. Noticing both the connection of the support and the life that flows through. And knowing that they both are connected. And then I'll invite you to join me in an Om, so I invite you to breathe in, please. Exhale fully. Inhale. Om. Release your hands, open your eyes, and let's get started. So I'll invite you to come onto your back, because that's what we're doing today, stuff on our backs, which is nice if you ask me. So once you come down, I'll invite you to cross your right ankle over your left knee. You want to flex your foot to support your knee here, and then I invite you to draw your legs in. Now, you can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. You'll notice that automatically there tends to be a tilt to the right, so I'd like you to try and keep the back of your pelvis flat, and then gently pull your legs in towards your body. If you have a lot of flexibility, you might be able to interlace over your shin, but you want to be careful the pelvis doesn't curl up. Do you see how my hips lift? So the back of the pelvis stays down as you draw your legs in. And then be careful of that right hip, because it's going to keep wanting to sink over to the side, and then I'll actually take you out of the stretch. So stay here and breathe, and just notice how that feels. Mine are tight right now. May not look like it, but it feels tight to me. And I'll just take one more breath here. Good. Now I'll invite you to take your left foot to the floor, and then you're going to walk your left foot in towards your right hip. And then drop your left knee down. So you'll notice your hips are going to want to sway over. Again, you're going to try and keep your hips level, so you might need to adjust yourself a little bit. And if you can, you'll stack your knees. They may not look like this. Your legs might be like this, and that is just fine. So don't worry about it, but you're going to let that left knee go down as low as it can, and your right knee as low as it can, with both hips on the ground. And your top foot is still active to support this knee. I like to bring my hands either to my belly or the hip flexors, because my hip flexors are definitely feeling this right now. And it's kind of like a nice way to breathe into it. You may notice your ribs are going to want to lift too, so see if you can calm those down towards the floor. Keep your chin slightly tucked, the back of your neck stays long. Everything just stays really relaxed in the upper body. If you find that your chin is really lifted when you're on your back, bring a cushion under your head. Remember, you can pause these videos anytime to get what you need if you don't have it, so no worries. And we'll just take the last couple of breaths here. And breathing nice and deep. Now to come out of this, you're going to flex your bottom foot and press into the outer edge to lift up. Now I'll invite you to take both feet to the floor about the width of your mat, and then just let them rock side to side. And if your couch is in the way, like mine might be, you might have to scooch over a little bit. And you're going to try and get your knees down to the floor both ways. So you're really opening up through those hips. And it feels, I love this because if you notice the sensation on the back of your pelvis, you've got lots of nerve endings, and it's kind of like a little massage, and it feels good. I think it feels good anyways. Good. And then next time your knees come up, we'll switch sides. So now you'll take your left foot, your ankle over your knee, and flex your foot, toes come back, and then interlace behind your right thigh. And if you have the flexibility or the mobility, you can interlace over your shin, but it doesn't really matter. So remember with yoga, it's all about being present with the stretch, not the look of the pose. And I know Instagram will tell you different, but you don't need to listen to them. I don't, clearly, because I wear clothes when I do yoga. Now, I invite you to take your left elbow, and you don't want to push it into the knee, but if you want to, you can use that to press into your thigh. You'll notice here that your left hip's going to want to lean to the left, so lift it up so both hips are on the ground, and you'll just keep pulling it in. I know I've got lots of opinions about Instagram and yoga, but I still use it for marketing purposes too. I know. And breathe here and enjoy the hip stretch. Good. Just take a couple last breaths here. Easing into your edge. And then you can take your right foot down, heel toe, your heel over to your left hip now. And then you'll start to drop both knees down as low as they'll go. If you can, you'll get the right knee down. As long as your hips aren't swayed right over to the side, you're going to try and keep them even and level as best as you can. And then either hands on your hips or on your belly. Your ribs might be lifted like mine, so see if you can draw those down. And same thing, chin down. And just breathe. Softening into this moment. And as much as possible, really keep your exhales long to keep your nervous system calm, and also your mind, because it helps regulate both, letting them all just relax as you breathe into the stretch. And it might be just on one hip, or it might be both. For me, I feel it on both. Remember, as long as you're feeling it, you're doing it. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Good. And then I'll invite you to flex your bottom foot, push into the outer edge to lift up. And then you can take both feet to the floor. This time bring them together and the soles of your feet together, and allow your knees to come apart. I invite you to tuck your pelvis just slightly, mostly just if your ribs are really arched, so you have more of a neutral spine. Your lower back does not need to touch the floor by any means. And then if you'd like, you can take your hands to your inner thighs or your belly and allow your knees to get heavy and your thighs to get heavy. And with each exhale, allow your legs to begin to soften towards the floor. Exhales are really helpful here. Soften your glutes if they're clenched. I know mine were just clenching. And really start to open into this space of allowing and surrender. Nothing needs to happen here. Just breathing and being. And allowing the body's wisdom to lead the way. And take one more breath. And then I invite you to grab the sides of your legs to help them come up. Knees together, feet about the width of your mat. And then you can cross your elbows, if they'll cross, over the front of your body, grabbing both shoulder blades, just to release the back of your body, the back of your pelvis, between the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, I'll invite you to release, rolling onto your right side, and then pressing yourself up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me in this 10-minute gentle class today, and I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Namaste.